because
guys.
from West Africa was here at the beginning of the century. And when I say the beginning of the century, I mean the 1000th century. A long time ago, they was here with the natives, with the indigenous people. We were all hanging out, we were trading, we were doing stuff. Just like how there was no border, and every person indigenous from here all the way down, you know, to what we call Central America now, was hanging out and doing things and changing ideas. Way before the Europeans were doing any of that and coming and conquering, we were all together. Yet today, we have people who walk around and call themselves Hispanic. Who want to go along with that Spanish heritage. They want to forget about their indigenous heritage. We have people here, black people, who don't speak to each other. We don't know our history. People don't know our place here in history. Like I said, we was here before the Europeans. Over a third of cowboys were black. We have all kinds of history here, even before there was the American country and after. So when people say this place is a tricultural state, that's offensive. You should fight that. Just like Brother Steve was saying, you know, you need to shut that down about black women, black men. Shut that down. He hears the tricultural state. Shut that down. We were here, and other people were here. You have Jewish people. You have a whole bunch of Asian Americans who have been here for a long time because of the wars and the oppression going on in their country.
Tell them,
It's
girl.
not a tricultural state. And even if it was, people in three cultures, it is not equal. You go up to any courthouse, you get any history book, it's someone who's white, it's someone who's Spaniard white, it's not someone who's Mexican or like caste system, it's not someone who's indigenous. So we need to understand that and start assimilating and work together. Because if we understand our history, we know that black and brown people here have worked together. Now, of course, there's been conflict. There will be conflict. We have white supremacy, there's conflict. Even before white supremacy, we had conflict with oppression. We had class systems, we had caste systems. And that's where we got to understand race. Race is part of that class system. Now, we talk about the haves and the have-nots. It's very true. It's all of us people against those who have all the power. But we got to understand that race is part of that class system. Race is like a permanent underclass. So you have the have and have-nots. They put you because of your heritage and your color in this permanent underclass. So you got to understand, yes, it's about economics, and race goes into that economics. We talk about economics. The U.S. wouldn't be developed not only without the genocide of indigenous people, without black people. The U.S. would not be a leading superpower without slavery. The West wouldn't be settled. There would be nothing here without black people, black cowboys, black people coming out here. And of course, the West African people who are out here hanging out with everybody else. We are part and parcel of this history. Malcolm X talks about that. Many of his speeches essence that we don't understand our history. That's why I'm very proud to be a part of Africana Studies at UNF. And I'm very proud it's called Africana Studies. Now, I understand some people want to call it Black Studies. I'm not dissing that. I understand the history here is important. When we say Africana, we're talking about the diaspora. That means the movement of people. That means people of African descent on the continent. Who are in Jamaica, who are here in New Mexico, who are up in Canada. That's all kinds of people. And that's also understanding that back before race was part of this caste system and this class system, and another part of this sort of matrix of oppression, that civilization, and everybody came out of Africa. That's where it all started. And if we went back in time and we was with the Sumerians, we was with the Carthaginian Empire, we would call them black. Now, of course, they didn't have that idea back then. They had other types of oppression. But that history has been erased so that people don't feel like they can do anything. So that when we have Black History Month like Malcolm X talks about, Brother Malcolm, that we're looking at it through the eyes of the tutelage of Western civilization. We only talk about people who was here after, so we think, oh, we only did stuff when we got here to America. That's not true. We was always doing stuff. We're part of the human fabric. If people don't talk about Africa in the world history class, walk out.
Tell
That is not a world history.
Tell them. That ain't history.
That's lies. If you're in a New Mexico history class, an American history class, and they don't mention anything, it's a sideline. You walk out. Because we're all part and parcel of that narrative. And we all have a story. We're all important. Now, I bet everyone here knows, a bit of Malcolm X's story, and Brother Sadiq and others have brought it up. As far as my story, and going back to, what my man was saying about bringing people together, this divisiveness. I know here in New Mexico, the cultural assimilation, if you're mixed, you're told to pass. You're told to walk along. For the longest time, I felt lost because I was folks made, okay, I'm an other, what are you, this and that. You're made to